Hey guys, this here's Ecoli, and today we're going to be checking out some Space Station 13. Now, one of the things I wanted to get right off my chest, I may or may not have literally just spent a fucking hour recording a tutorial video that you see in front of you with my fucking mic turned off. So yes, this is my second round doing this, so I might be a little short, so don't mind that. Just relax, enjoy the sounds of my voice, but fucking pay attention, because I'm a little irritated, to be honest. Let's just get this shit started. So, this is going to be a somewhat basic tutorial. Now, this is going to differ from other tutorials, because there's plenty of tutorials that you can watch online for doing stuff on Space Station 13. I'm simply doing this one so that you guys know some ins and outs and some settings and things like that that I prefer on my particular server for, you know, us guys. Everybody's obviously welcome, so anybody else that's not normally playing with us, you're more than welcome to come on in. Right off the bat, let's go ahead and jump into our character selector here. Now, you can go set up your name and the way you look and stuff like that. On my particular server, we have randomized names and randomized looks on. That's just to help with so that you don't... if, I don't know, Joe stabs you in the eye in the first round because he wants to take your, I don't know, ID card, and then we start another round and you happen to be working with that same guy, you're not going to be like, oh, fuck that guy, I don't trust him. That's called metagaming. You can't carry in knowledge from one game to another and stuff like that. So it kind of helps if you throw in randomized names and stuff. So on my server, we have that turned on. But you can go in here and mess with this if you want to. The important thing that we're looking at...
Welcome to the station, crew. Enjoy your stay.
Well, before I was really fucking interrupted, Jesus, the round's just starting. It has like an automatic timer on it. We want to go to set occupation preferences. Now, for my particular server, I do not want anybody to set anything as high. Now, you can set like, oh, I want to be a doctor. Okay, this kind of looks cool, and maybe a scientist or so, and maybe a security officer. Now, on my server, I want at least 2 or 3 things set to medium. Nothing should be set to high. The reason why I have this set to high is because I need to be the captain so that I can do this tutorial. But other than that, I want you guys to set a couple of things, maybe, medium for the ones that you are really into, like, oh, I kind of really want to be a doctor and a scientist. Set those to medium. So have like, 2 or 3 of those. And then a couple other little things maybe set as low, and go from there. The reason for that is I would like things to be a little bit more randomized, once again, so that I don't know that my buddy Austin, aka Blackstar, I don't want to know for a fact that he's a chemist because he keeps playing the chemist every round. I don't want to know that. I like it. It's more fun when nobody knows who each other is. So anyways, go in there, set that all up, hit done. The other important thing, and this is super important, is you gotta go to game preferences. You can set all your stuff up here. That's all kind of, personal choice. Like, some people don't like their lobby music playing, so just switch that to no, and so on and so forth. What I'm focusing on is right here. All this stuff right here, the special roles, these are called antagonists. For the most part, unless you're really against playing antagonists, I want everybody to turn on all this stuff. The ones that I have set for no, I just have set for no because I don't even have that on my station. I just turned them off. But everything else, I want you to set antagonists. And the reason for that is, that way, when a round starts and there's a random roll, whether it be a trader round or a xenomorph or whatever, you have a certain chance to spawn as the antagonist. So, if you don't have this turned on, you'll never be the antagonist. So that's where the fun shows up. Make sure you click save. Sometimes people just hit the X button, so make sure you hit that save button. One other thing I wanted to mention before I forget is, you want to, if at all possible, start the round at the beginning of the round. What I mean by that is, usually at the end of the round, it'll give you 2 minutes. Yeah, right here. So it gives you 2 minutes, and you can change some things or whatever. Go take a piss, come back, and then you ready your character. And then the round starts, and everybody gets spawned in with their randomized names, their randomized jobs, and so on and so forth, and sometimes antagonists. You do have the ability to spawn in the middle of a round, but your chances of spawning in as an antagonist are way lower than it would be if you spawned at the beginning of the round. So, for the record, just try to show up on time. That way we can have everybody here at the beginning of a round. Now, I'm going to be obviously joining in the middle of a round because I was talking while the thing started. So this is what it looks like. When you go to click join, this is in the middle of a round, and you are able to pick stuff on here. This is another reason why I don't want people joining in the middle of a round unless they super, unless they have a reason for it or whatever. If it's beyond their control, fine. But I want things to be randomized. I don't want you to necessarily be able to pick everything. And for the record, I've gone in there and disabled the clown role, and for some reason it seems like it's hard-coded into the server. So just do me a favor, if you're watching this, don't fucking pick the clown. Okay? Literally, the clown is designed, like, their entire purpose is to walk around and piss people off. And I play the captain a good amount. If I hear that the clown got beat to fucking death because he's just walking around honking and shit at people, and the engineer fucking knocks him out with a wrench and then throws him out into fucking space, I'm really not gonna care. So just do me a solid. Don't fucking play the clown. It's really retarded. Just play something else. There's much better stuff going on here. I don't know why this won't go away. Just do that. Okay? I'm gonna spawn in as a captain, so it'll make life a whole lot easier. Boom. Okay. So now we're here. I'm using up, down, left, and right to move around. One thing that I forget to do is you have to go down here and click chat. This doesn't work, this doesn't always happen for everybody, but I have to do this for some reason, and it'll reset. This is how you talk to people. By default, it has say, and you can literally say hello, and it'll pop up hello. You can also put a semicolon, space, and then I will do comms check. Boom. And that means I'm using my radio. So I will speak out of my mouth, and I will speak over comms. So notice that he does both. So this is going over radio, so everybody on the station can hear, and this is going out from my mouth into the radio. So it's not bugging out or anything. If you think about it, logically, it happens in real life too. What are we missing here? Oh, you know what? I didn't even go over the hands part. So first things first, you can hit middle button to switch between left and right hand, or you can click that swap button. Now, I'm going to click on that to open it, and it looks like there's a black bandana. Okay, I'm going to click on it, and it's in my right hand. Now, there's another bandana over there, but I want to pick it up. Now, notice that my hand is still selected on the right, and I have something in my hand. So now I'm clicking on it and trying to do stuff. It's not going to do anything. Because if you have something in your hand, and then you're using the hand that you have something in to try to pick up something else, I mean, that doesn't make any sense. There's something already in your hand. So you have to switch, or right-click, and I'm going to pick up whatever this is. What is this? Cap? Alright. So now I have, it looks like a cap and a bandana in each of my hands. And you can click drop it to drop it at your feet, or you can click throw, and click, and throw. I'm going to chuck those back in there, and close that up again. You usually start with a backpack, which is this. It's going to look different for each person depending on who you spawn as. I have a backpack, and inside that backpack is some emergency supplies, stuff like that. You have your PDA. This is pretty important. I'm going to click on my PDA. A lot of people don't use their PDA to their full potential. You can message people on here. You can keep notes. Depending on your level of access, you have crew manifests, all kinds of stuff. Not to mention, there's a flashlight. You can turn that on, turn that off. Super, super useful, because there are going to be times where the power is out and you can't see a goddamn thing. Alright? Put that back on there. This is your ID. This is like incredibly important. You do not want to lose that, especially if you're like the head of a department or if you're the captain. That allows you to get access to lots of important shit. So, far left, this opens up your inventory for your, like, I guess you'd say your body. Your gear that you have on. So you have gloves, there's a helmet, glasses, and so on and so forth. If I remember right, you can take things off and on by simply clicking, so that works. So, I want to take off my my armor. I'm going to put that back on. However, one thing that confuses a lot of people is when they want to take off their whole suit. I'm not going to do this, but I'm going to explain how. You're going to click, and then I'm going to... God damn it, I didn't mean to do that. Anyways, normally you can click and drag, or sometimes you can click and it'll let you. Anyways, the reason why I did not want to do that is because when you take off your jumpsuit, it drops all your shit on the ground. Luckily, I'm only carrying like 2 things. If I had a bunch of stuff in my pockets and stuff, everything would fall to the ground. Anyways, That's how you switch suits, so that way if you want to put on some cooler clothes, it's rather easy to do. Anyways, going back to comms, this is one thing that I want to make sure to point out. A lot of times people go onto the wiki to find what comms channels are what, because I can message, or excuse me, I can talk on a channel that is only for medical, or I can talk on a channel that is only for the chiefs, or not the chiefs, but the heads of departments, and so on and so forth. And the way you can figure that out is, instead of going to the wiki and looking up each individual one, if you are, let's say you're a doctor, you can go to your headset, right click on it. Oops, let me get rid of something real quick. I'm going to turn off my admin because it has all these things I don't want you to, get confused with. Anyways, I'm going to go to my headset, right click, go into examine, and then usually it will tell you down here what channels that you have access to. As the captain, I have the access to all channels. So you can see here, you can type to security. So here, I'll just give you an example. So I'm going to do that, S space comms check. Boom. So now it's in red, and only the security comms were broadcasted. So that's super important. I think that people often use the regular radio channels, the green, too much. And sometimes there's like 30-something people talking over regular comms. And that's, I don't know, it just kind of gets annoying. So try not to do that. Talk to if you're talking to another doctor, try to use just medical. But that's just me. Anyways, I need to head to engineering. Those are the basics, but if you need any other help, go ahead and hit up some other tutorials. Like I said, I'm just going to give you a basic run through. But right now, on my particular server, we're playing on something called the mini station, which is just what it sounds like. It's a mini version of some of the bigger stations you may or may not have played on. And on the mini station, we have a fusion reactor, I'm pretty sure they call it. Thermoelectric generator. Which makes sense. So I'm going to show you guys how to set this up. This is pretty important. You won't always have to deal with this. Most of the time there's a engineer, or sometimes the captain will come down here, whatever. Depending on where you spawn. So like if you're a doctor, most likely you don't have to do this, but it is kind of the responsibility of the whole station really needs to make sure that this is up and running. So there might be times that I call upon you, or so that somebody else who is in charge calls upon you to come down here and help. So that's why I want you to pay attention. So right now, I just grabbed 3 of the plasma canisters. We're going to need 2 more. We need oxygen, so these are O2. This is a lot faster with more than one person, but I turned off the server to the public because I don't want people jumping in here while I'm in the middle of what I'm doing right now. So, oops, one more. One thing I forgot to mention is you can do different things down here. You can, oops, dang it. You can click on things like this. You can select this to grab and then grab something. There we go. You can change your stances. This is obviously helping. This would be, I think this is called defensive. You would push somebody down, you would knock something out of their hands, and so on and so forth, depending on where you're aiming. If you're aiming for the hand, you might knock their stuff out of their hands. If you aim for the body, you'll push them down, so on and so forth. This would obviously be aggressive, and this would be grappling. So you can, anyways, what I was getting at is you can grab, you can right click and go to here, and you can pull, and so on and so forth. What I was getting at is, instead of going here and and pull, it's easier if you just hit control and click. And if you do that, it's sort of a cheat. If you go and right click on something and click drag, it's slower. I think, let me see if it'll do it on this. It doesn't do it for all items. Let's go pull. No, it does not. For bodies, I think it moves a lot slower. So if you do that, right click on a person and then click drag and so on and so forth, you'll move super slow. So it's just better to hit the control button and drag them that way, because especially if somebody's like bleeding out or something, you need to get them to medical rather quickly. But anyways, that's relevant because I'm hitting control, or I'm holding control, clicking on these canisters, and that's what's allowing me to drag them like I am right now. Then I have my wrench right here, and I am simply clicking on these to connect them. Make sure that you do that. If you forget to connect these and you turn on the canister, depending on what it is, it'll spray into the room. Like the first time I tried to set this up, I didn't realize that I hadn't connected one of those, and I had done it improperly. And as soon as I turned it on, it freaking filled this whole room with plasma, which is super flammable and highly toxic, and then I almost died. So that's not something we want to be dealing with, especially that I'm alone. I'm all alone. There's no one here beside me. I need a harmonica for working the station by myself. Anyways, we're gonna go and stick that wrench in my pocket. My pockets. Now that we have these all together, so the mix ratio for this particular engine is 3 plasma, 2 oxygen, and we need CO2 canisters in both the top left and top right spots. We're going to turn these on, these manual valves. And this is going to let all the CO2 out of these cans and into these tubes. Okay, now we need to turn on the gas pumps. On. Okay. You're going to see these light up when they are operational. That's important that you pay attention to that. The only pump that we do not turn on is this one right here. This one that connects the yellow and the red does not need to be turned on. The reason for that is that's how you relieve pressure from the pipes, which I don't think I've ever had to do. Oh, I almost forgot one. Okay, so now we have the gas. So what's going on here is all the CO2 has emptied into these pipes. These pipes are now flowing outside into space and are being super cooled because space is cold, is my understanding. And they are going back up and into the engine up here. The same with this. Gas is going out and into these pipes, into a room that I cannot see. But we can go like this. Go look in the burn chamber. If you notice, all the fuel, all the plasma has been dispersed into this room, which we then will ignite with that little click of a button. We're going to check to make sure it was properly done. Okay, this room is on fire. And that is going to heat up all the, that room is right here, by the way. That's going to heat that room up really, really well. And then all the CO2 in the pipes is going to run through there, get heated up by the room itself. And then also it's going to flow up and mix into this thermal generator. So now that we have both the cold and the hot mixing together, we have 264,000 watts of power. Now, we need to make sure that we set up our batteries properly. This can be kind of adjusted and changed depending on how you like your settings. The wiki says to take half of what is the available wattage and set that. So let's take a look here. Let's get our calculator out. So we have 260. So let's just we'll do 255. So 255, 3,000 divided by 2 equals 127,500. So we want to set, let's just do 120. So we'll do 120, 120,000. And then you set half of this as your output. We want 60,000. 123,000. So this is the power going in. So from the generator into the battery. So this is power going into the battery. This is power being let out of the battery. And we want to do this for all of our stuff. And then you want to make sure that this is charging. They are relatively low. If I would have waited maybe 10-15 more minutes, the power would have started failing because these batteries, they drop relatively quickly. You want to do that for all of these. So what was it? I was 120 and 60,000. So we want to do 120, 1, 2, 3, and 60, 1, 2, 3. And last but not least, 1, 2, 3, and 60, 1, 2, 3. Now you'll notice this last one is like it's not charging. It's because the wattage is not available, and the reason for that is this battery is the first one. So the battery's going into here and using up a bunch of the power, and then what's left over this battery is using, and then what's left over this battery is using. Well, by the time it gets all the way through these, it's not getting any power to these other two, which is not a big deal. What's going to happen is this stored energy is going to cap off, and once it hits the full, it's then going to stop charging, and it's going to come over here and fill this one, and then come over here and fill this one. Now, I'm not a full-blown engineer. This is my understanding. We've got it going. I've actually had some of my buddies change the settings over here, and there may be better settings. This is just a general how-to. So you may very well find a better way to set this up. You don't necessarily have to listen to me 100%. Oh, one thing I did want to point out is right here is where you can see system alarms. This is important to check. And this right here is the most important. This is the power monitoring. So this is showing our available power. You'll see it going up and down depending on what we're doing. And this is our current draw. This is nothing because there's currently nobody else on the station doing anything. But as, you know, once research and development gets going, or medical's doing shit, or whatever the case may be, this will spike up and down depending on what they're doing. So, whoa, what is that? That is not good. You know, I forgot to turn off random events. I should probably do that. I'm gonna go, give me a second here. I'm gonna re-admin. See if I can turn off random events. Can't remember where that is. Random events. Okay, I disabled the random events for now. I don't want, you know, I don't know, spiderlings or something to come eat me while I'm doing my tutorial video. But anyways, with that actually, that was like some kind of toxic gas or something. That actually reminds me. Whoa, see, there's some more of it. I'm going to put on my internals, and what that means is everybody has an emergency supply of oxygen. In their backpack, there's a little box. I'm going to grab that box. With my empty hand, I'm then going to click on that box. There's an emergency oxygen tank, which you can put in your pocket or hold in your hand. It doesn't really make a difference. And you can put a mask on your face. So now I have my mask on. So now, put this box back in there. You can click this button right here, and now I have oxygen. You can right click this and it should be able to tell you how much oxygen you have left. Now I think it's like something like maybe 3 to 5 minutes worth of oxygen, so don't use that unless you have to. I'm going to turn that off for now. Grab my box, put my oxygen tank in there, put my mask in there. I don't want to use up my oxygen right now, just in case I need it in an emergency situation. Anyways, the other important thing I really wanted to show you was, I think the random event that's going on is all these little oxygen scrubbers are malfunctioning and they're causing issues. So hopefully that doesn't mess up the video too much. But there's stuff like this that happens in the station, and you have to be prepared for it. Looks like there's a blown bulb or power outage. So this is a good situation where I can show you. You go into your PDA, click enable flashlight. Boom. So now I should be able to see. Yeah, I think what happened here is that the scrubber maybe, I don't know, gave off gas and it blew the light fixture right here. No big deal. We are going to go to medical. This is where we are right here. There's cryo. This is good for healing people. There's genetics. You can get revived here by cloning people. If you guys want more information on that, you're going to have to go to the wiki, which I pretty much expect you to play with the wiki, like the Space Station 13 wiki in the background at all times, because I do. But anyways, that's just me. Anyways, real quick, I'm going to select my right arm. I'm going to create my intent to red. I'm going to click my wrench. I'm going to click myself. Ouch. Ow. And maybe a third one for good measure. Okay, I'm bleeding, so I obviously did a good job. So let's put that wrench away. I've hurt myself. You can always go to green intent with nothing in your hand and click yourself, and you'll give yourself like you kind of check yourself to see what's wrong with you. So it's always a good idea to check yourself before you wreck yourself. I'm sorry, I had to do that. Anyways, I clicked on myself with an empty hand with green intent, and you can see that my right arm is bruised. Now with that, I'm going to walk down here. I'm going to pick up one of these. I'm bleeding, by the way, all over everything, but, you know, that's not important. That's fine. So I'm going to take my empty hand, look in the box. This is also an important thing. You can take a health analyzer and then click on it, and it'll tell you what kind of damage you have. So I'm going to put that in my pocket, actually. The color, it says that I have 85% health, and then the color represents the type of damage. So red is physical, burn is, you know, or orange is burn, toxin, so on and so forth, so you get it. So you can see I have a number here that's in a certain color, so it's 15 points of damage, and it's in red, so I have brute, aka physical damage to my right arm. In this case, we're going to use the bruise pack, and I have my right arm selected still. I'm going to click on myself, and then you'll see this little bar. You don't want to move, you don't want to do anything until that bar finishes. Now that's done, I should be good. I'm going to click my scanner just to check myself. Boom, 100% health. Now that I've officially bled all over everything, I'm going to go ahead and check this box over there. Don't worry, I'll call maintenance to come clean this up later. Oh, you know what? I'm going to grab this too. So that's a basic understanding of medical. You know, the little bandages go for bruise packs, or excuse me, the bruise packs goes for brute damage. There's ointment for burns. There's obviously other things that you could do, but once again, if you have more questions, go see the wiki for that. Anyways, you'll see I grabbed the syringe gun. I will explain that here in a moment. As I'm walking through the station, I might as well point out what's what. This is obviously the bar, and there's a botany station down here as well. You can grow food, which is kind of funny that shit's growing by itself. There's like fungus and stuff, but anyways, you can grow like legitimate food and feed us. Got EVA. This is usually used by engineering and sometimes other people to... This is pretty much our space suit closet. There's mag boots, like so on and so forth. Anyways, that you won't really usually use, but it's good to know where it's at. The dorms are over here. I don't remember if there's a bathroom. There's a dorm 1, dorm 2. Oh well, I was going to wash my clothes and stuff, but I'm not going to deal with that right now. I thought we had a shower, but I can't remember where exactly it is. This is the detective's office. Yeah, right there. He's got some cool shit in there. The detective is always fun to roleplay. Speaking of roleplay, one thing I forgot to show you earlier is you can click down here, delete this, and type me space, and you can type what you would do. So let's say looks around suspiciously. So, and what that does is allows you to do things like, you know, it says that Derek, which is my name, looks around suspiciously. And you can do that to roleplay. Now, I strongly suggest that you try to do that as much as possible. I know that sometimes people are like, oh, I don't like roleplay or whatever. You know, just try it. It's going to feel weird at first, but the more practice you do, the better it is. And trust me, the more you do this and the more other people do around you while you're playing, the more immersed you are. You kind of want to get into your character. I don't know. I learned that it's just a lot more fun. Anyways, we are going to research and development. That's where I'm at right now. I'm in the science division. Up north is xenobiology. That's always fun to play. Once again, like I said, if you were interested in that, go look up the wiki. It's super complicated. Well, not super complicated, but it can be complicated and dangerous, but the rewards are pretty freaking awesome. We're going to go ahead and head down here. This is the R&D console. We want to go to settings right off the bat, and we want to, if I remember right, device linkage right here. We want to resync all nearby devices. Now, I didn't realize this. I had to learn this the other day. You have to do that to sync all these other devices to this computer right here. So that's all we need. So we're good here. Back to main menu. We want to then use the destructive analyzer to break things down, to learn science from it, to then be able to build more stuff. And once we build the new item, you break that down, get more science, and so on and so forth. So what we're going to do first off, I have a health analyzer here. I'm going to put that into the analyzer here. You'll see it. It's sitting right there. I'm going to go to destructive analyzer. I'm going to select that. And it tells you what's in there. We have a health analyzer. You have a 100% chance of getting new technology by breaking this down. And what you would get from it is electromagnetic spectrum and biological technologies. We're going to go ahead and deconstruct. It's going to do a safety protocol. Would you like to proceed? Because this will permanently destroy this. So hit yes. It's going to process it. You see it's breaking it down there. And just for good measure, we're going to do the same thing for the syringe gun. Let's go ahead and put the syringe gun in there. We're going to go analyzer. It's going to give us combat systems research. Deconstruct item. Yes. Break that down. What was the other? Here we go. This is always a good one to break down. You can break down high capacity cells to learn how to make them. So that, put the high capacity cell in there. Analyzer. This will give us power manipulation. Tech 2. That's good. We want that Tech 2 part. So deconstruct item. Yes, we would like to proceed. And then from there, we can use this proto lathe and or this circuit imprinter to build things. But first, we need to load it. So if I remember right, I want to put the metal in first. And I think it needs mostly metal. So I'm going to max this out. It'll only accept a certain amount. And then I will give it whatever is left over space-wise. I will put in glass. It won't accept all the glass though. So I loaded the glass. I have a little bit left in my hand, but I don't need that, so I'm going to put that there. I'm going to go back over here. We're going to go to proto lathe. And from here we have different designs. So let's see. What did we just break down? Was it a power cell? See here, technology data storage disk. That's kind of cool. Let's back up one. Power. So you see now, if I remember right, we had basic power cells before, but then I broke down the high capacity cell right here, and we got science, and now it allows us to make them. So we can go like this. It takes 70 metal and 60 glass. We're going to click that to build it, and ta-da! Now we have a battery. Now you can do this endlessly. So let's say and I think it changes slightly every round, but you can take like a data storage disk from the AI, or not the AI, excuse me, from the captain's quarters. Break that down, and then that allows you to build a data storage disk. And then you build that. Then you take that exact data storage that you just built, put it in the analyzer, break it down again. Then that allows you to build this and that, and you can build some cool shit. The other day, I actually built a personal AI system, which was pretty nifty, which allows if one of our buddies dies and he has his stuff set up properly, he can quote-unquote spawn back in as my personal AI, and he has some cool stuff in there. You kind of have to role-play that a little bit because you're playing as a AI, so it'd be almost like pretending to be Siri on a smartphone. But it gives you access to all kinds of cool stuff. You have some options to hack doors. You have access to, I think, camera systems sometimes. It depends on what you choose. It's pretty cool. Anyways, last but not least, I want to show you a little things before we bounce out here. This is the cargo area. This is where you can go and order equipment. So you guys saw the sheets of metal and ice that I just was using on the proto lathe. That would eventually run out, and you can order more from the shuttle. This guy can order more, and the shuttle will show up here, and then we can get the stuff off there. You could also go mine. There's a mining asteroid. There's an asteroid out there that you can go mine stuff. I only done that a couple times, so once again, you're gonna have to use the wiki to figure that out. Oh, one more thing. I almost forgot. This is super important, actually. A lot of people forget to do this in research and development. And I just forgot myself, so I can't give you guys crap. Is you go back here. So we have a couple of levels of tech. So let's back up. I'll show you guys what I mean. Current research levels. You can see here. Power manipulation is level 2. Biological technologies is level 2, and so on and so forth. So we have different levels. Now these can go up and up and up. I think you can like max out at level 20 or something. I can't remember. I've only done a little bit of this stuff before. But the important thing is, we're going to go back. We need to go to settings. We need to sync database with the network. Now, why you want to do this is all this stuff that we've learned. When you click that, my understanding is it syncs itself with the station's server and then allows other people with proto lathes or other things to be able to build with that new technology. So don't forget to do that. A lot of people do, and then it's kind of like you're researching, but you're not really doing anything with it. So make sure you do that so it opens up for other people to be able to use the technology. This is obviously the brig. you don't want to... Whoa, what is that? Glowing goo. I'm just gonna keep away from that. I don't want fucking cancer. Anyways, you can go get thrown into jail by breaking certain space laws, and depending on the type of law that you do, you can get put in here for a couple minutes, and then it releases you automatically. So usually it's anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes, something like that. One thing about this is I strongly suggest that unless you are like, if you spawn as an antagonist and your job is legitimately you're an undercover agent and your job is to take out the captain, by all means, fucking put a round in my head. That's fine. But if you are not, and if you're just a random person and you come up and you're just kind of whatever, you're kind of bored or something, and you just start killing and stuff like that, that's not cool. It kind of messes with things. That's a lot of people, I think they call that power gaming or something like that. It's just not cool. You know, like if you're an antagonist, fine, do your job, do your thing. That's not a big deal. But if you're not, just, you know, role play. Don't go around killing people and doing things that you shouldn't be doing. I don't want to have to ban people off my server, so, you know, just do me a solid. Don't screw around and wait your turn. I have my server set up to randomize the rounds, and I have all the really cool ones. I have the Xeno rounds, which will spawn a random alien infestation. You know, like the aliens with the face huggers and the queens. Yeah, that shit. There's traitor rounds. There's nuke rounds where there's a bunch of people that try to break in and they try to find my disc, which I'll show you right here. This is the captain's quarters. They try to find that disc right there, nuclear authentication disc. Point to. Boink. They try to steal that, and if they do, if I remember right, they have a nuke on their little shuttle that they attach to our station, and then they can use the codes and the nuke together to blow up the station. I mean, there's all kinds of cool stuff. There's a crap ton of different things that we could be doing. So just be patient, especially on my server. There's no reason. Just wait, you know, for the next round. There's a high chance that you're going to be selected as an antagonist anyways. So, anyways, now that that's over, it's pretty cool. Speaking of facehuggers, check it out. I don't know if it'll show that. I could always break this. Yeah, let me see. I'll show you guys something a little interesting. This might take a little while. Hopefully not. Come on, buddy. Hey! How we doing, my friend? Oh, he's so cute. Look, this is Lamar, everybody. He's awfully shy. And check this out. Boom. You can put him on your face. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to let you do your thing. This is a face hugger, by the way, but don't worry, he can't impregnate anybody. He has his little proboscis thing that they use to impregnate you. He's had that removed, so everybody be nice. Everybody say hello. Hi, Lamar. Alright, anyways, last but not least, guys, this is super important. When things go to shit, which they will, trust me, they will. I mean, there's enough things that can go wrong in a station. You need to get to this console right here. This is called the communications console. Click on here. If I remember right, I have to have this in my hand to log in. So you might need to either find my body or kill me or something, hotwire this thing so you can get logged in. I think some of the heads of the departments can get in here as well. And then here's where you call the emergency shuttle. Call the emergency shuttle. We're going to do test run. Call. You must provide a reason. I did provide a reason. Let's disable right now. I think it's because I have it hardwired so that you cannot call the station for, I think, like the first 40 minutes. I can't remember exactly what it is. I think it's like 45 minutes. And that way we can't call the station that way we can't call the shuttle like right after the mission starts. But anyways, this is how you do it. You call the shuttle will show up, and we can all evac out, and so on and so forth. I wanted to point that out because a lot of people didn't realize what was going on with that, so that's where you call it. Anyways, I think that pretty much wraps it up. I'm going to grab my little buddy Lamar here. I'm going to walk over here. I'm going to sit in my chair. Boom. Alright, well, this is the captain speaking. I'm going to go ahead and hit the hay here, and I hope you guys really enjoyed. If you have any other questions, go ahead and throw that on the comments down below. I will do my best to get a hold of you. Otherwise, I will catch you guys on my personal server, which you guys can always hit me up on Steam. I have links to it there, or you can message me directly and we can get you in there. If you guys are interested, let me know. and I can always give you guys one-to-one tutorials and stuff like that. That way you feel more comfortable playing the game. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will catch you in the next episode.